Hi beekeepers, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I don't know why I said channel weird, but channel. Welcome to my channel. Today is another movie review. I am so excited because I am actually early. Yes! I mean, not early because today is the day that is being released, but I saw it a day before and I'm talking about it the day it's released. And I am talking about Wicked. Yes! Wicked is finally out and it is one of the best movies I've seen all year. It's one of the best musicals I've ever seen turned into a movie. I've always wanted to go see Wicked. I have never been able to. I do have an opportunity in August to go see it, and I'm really hoping I can go. Really hoping. So, there's going to be a tour of Wicked in August in Illinois. So, that's about a 6-hour drive, because every time I've tried to go see Wicked, it's always you have to fly there to go see it, and I don't have the patience and or means and or ability to drop everything on a flight just so I could go see a musical and come back. So I'm excited for that opportunity. It's too early to buy tickets though, so I'm trying not to get my heart set on it, but I'm determined. And I gotta show you my Wicked inspired nails. See, I did Color Street the other day. So it's not really showing up on camera. So this is a bright pink, and then this is a neon pink and a neon green. And then my thumb is a mixture of the both of them. And I like how it kind of swivels in together. Like it's going into each other, because the main theme, if you didn't know about Wicked, is green and pink coming together, because it's alphabet. Where'd you go, guys? Where did you go? It's Elphaba, who is the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda. Is she the Wicked Witch of the North? What is she? Tell me in the comments what she is, because I don't remember. Wizard of Oz wasn't really necessarily my favorite movie, so I didn't pay attention to those things, but it's always nostalgic to think of it. So if you know nothing about me, I am a villain fanatic. So I enjoy villains, and I am a sucker for a villain origin story. What made that person become that person? What truly turned them into a villain? Because often it's because somebody turned them into that. They did not they were not just born that way. So it's kind of like the saying that you either die young enough and be the hero, or you live long enough to become the villain. Same kind of thing. So I've always supported my villains. I'm a villain cheerleader. I even have, if I've told you before, I have a Scar backpack. He is my main purse. So I have a thing for villains, especially him. He's my hero. So if you want to know some spoilers or information about Wicked, I'm getting ready to tell you. But if you do not want spoilers, this is your chance to leave. However, I'm giving you permission to go, but you actually have to come back. So Kelly, you actually have to come back. You too, Bryce, you have to actually come back and watch the rest of my video after you go see it. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay. Okay, so Wicked, I didn't realize it was a 2 parts video. I don't think they were advertising it as that. At least I never saw it until it started in the theater, and then it said Wicked Part 1. Part 1? I thought I was going to see the whole thing. No, a year from yesterday, so November 21st of 2025 is when part 2 is coming out. So do not expect to see the whole thing. And I'm actually not mad about that, because I saw that the movie's about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I was a bit worried because the play is obviously a lot longer than that. And I'm I feel like they're going to miss some things and they're going to rush it. The book itself is this thick, so I was worried that things would be skipped over or rushed, and they didn't do that. So I'm glad that we get to see majority of the world, we get to feel the world, we get to feel the situations. I didn't feel like we were because towards the end, we had 20 minutes left. I'm holy crap, we have a lot to get through, and we are nowhere near getting there. So I'm okay, this makes sense that we need a part 2, because we just need to establish the world, we need to discuss things. And the beginning of the movie, it starts as the end of the Wizard of Oz movie. So if you don't know anything about the Wizard of Oz, it might be a little confusing, but at the beginning of this movie, it shows that Dorothy has thrown water on the Wicked Witch of the West, and she has melted. That's the word, melted. And you see her hat, she's melted. And it shows like Dorothy going back to the wizard to show that she's done that. And it's very interesting because we all know that the wizard is a fraud. He's not really a wizard. But it's very interesting that once you know the backstory of this, it would be very interesting to watch The Wizard of Oz again just to see the conversation with the wizard and Dorothy about how he wants her to kill the Witch of the West. And that's because she knows things that she shouldn't know, and that is the problem. That is why they are enemies, is because Elphaba knows things that she shouldn't know and has powers that he doesn't want her to have, and that's the whole problem. But that gets onto later. The beginning shows the end of The Wizard of Oz, and then it goes to Glinda, the witch of whatever, and she is going to Munchkinland, and she's confirming, yes, the witch is dead. And they're singing No One Mourns the Wicked, and she's in it. She sings as well. And all the actors and actresses, they did wonderful. Like, their voices were perfect. Their dancing was perfect. I watched, like, a documentary thing, and it's shown, like, they sang it live. So, like, when they were on set, they were actually singing. They weren't, like, mouthing it. And so they were able to have more emotion when they were singing. And it was just beautiful. And, like, there's parts, like, of Wicked you can tell as Ariana is singing that she's not happy. Like, she's I want to say contorted, but that's not the right word, but she's like torn in her feelings because she's like, I'm happy the witch is dead, this is great for everybody, but then she's like, that was my friend, and she didn't deserve to die like that, or she got the bad end of the stick, and it's not something to be celebrating because she wasn't as bad as people say. And I feel like that is a huge thing that I was thinking of. Like I said, I've never seen Wicked before. I tried to read the book on Audible, and it just was taking too long. Maybe I need to speed the guy up, but the building world was taking too long. I lost my patience. But that was one of the biggest things I got from last night is the words of the song is, no one mourns the wicked, no one cries when they don't return, what you miss when you misbehave, and goodness knows the wicked are lonely, goodness knows the wicked die alone. It's not, when you're wicked, you are lonely all alone. And it's interesting because towards the end of the movie, Elphaba is brought to the wizard. There's a lot that goes in between that. I don't want to go into too much detail just because I'm going to fizzle out because there's so much. She goes to the school to drop her sister off, who is actually the sister that dies. She is the one that Dorothy's house falls on. So makes me wonder, like, when we see more about that in part 2 with, like, her relationship with her sister, because right now it's not very strong. I wonder if that's why she's, like, a total jerk to Dorothy's, because it's like, you killed my sister. It has nothing to do with the shoes. It has to do with, you literally just killed my sister. But go through all that. She's not bad. She's really not bad, and I think that's the point. She does get into the school. It's unexpected, but she gets into the school because she gets angry, and some magical things happen around her that she causes. And so the dean of the school is like, you need to come here, you have the potential. So she gets accepted into the school, and she doesn't really get along with some people, especially Glinda, who is like the pretty perfect girl, she has a song that's about perfect. She is used to getting her way, and she's very proper, and everyone wants to be around her, be near her, be with her, be her. And Elphaba, which is the Wicked Witch of the West, if you didn't get it, she wants nothing to do like that. So she's very different than everybody else, and it actually starts as a relationship of hate. They actually do not like each other, and Glinda even sets her up to be made fun of, and she actually realizes that she did it, and it's not something that she should have done. She feels bad. So they do actually slowly grow a friendship. I appreciated that it was like realistic in the fact that it's not a real like instant connection. They're very different, and it's literally like green and pink going together. It goes great together when it's a situation, but it doesn't look quite right unless you're like, maybe. Until you see it together, you're like, but no, it goes great together. It really does. So she has a moment where the teacher's like, oh yes, you need to go see the wizard. You have the power that you need. So she goes to see the wizard, and she takes Glinda with her. And the teachers wrote to the wizard, she has this power that you need to see. She can do what you need her to do. You need to see this. So she goes to Oz, and I am like skirting over like 2 hours and 40 minutes of stuff, guys. So please, please, please watch the movie. But she goes to the wizard, and she's actually concerned about the animals in Oz because they have a teacher who is a goat, and he is expressing concern because they're trying to oust the animals of the world. So like the cowardly lion situation. And they're trying to get rid of animals and their ability to talk. So they're trying to put them in their place where animals are in our world, where it's like animals will speak. They're lower than humans on like the social chain, so to speak. And so it used to be normal to have a lot of animals in Oz, and there isn't anymore. And so she's witnessing a teacher that she cares about, who is a goat, and she sees that he is kicked out of the school, and they come in with like a cage with a baby lion in it. And she puts her foot down. She's like, this is not okay. Because there's like, the new professor comes in and says, this is a cage. And it shows a baby lion in the cage. And he's like introducing the idea of a cage for like the first time for an animal to be in. And he's like, this is something that will put animals in, and they will eventually forget to talk. And she's like, this isn't okay. And so she's like, this shows more of like, she's still a caring person. She cares about things that have no ability to speak up for themselves, like this baby lion. So she does kidnap the baby lion, and cute guy helps her. And so I have a feeling that is the cowardly lion. I don't know the storyline, guys, so maybe I'm completely wrong, but I have a feeling that it ends up being the cowardly lion, just because it's gonna be like this little breadcrumb Easter egg, if you will. And so anyway, she gets to Oz, and she meets the wizard, and things are not perfect. Like, he's presenting as perfect, and he gives her this book, and the dean of course shows up, and they come to this book, and it's like this famous book in Oz that has like all these spells in it, but not many people can read it or use it. And she's able to translate it, and she's able to do the spell, and she actually ends up like, there's guards that are monkeys, and she turns all the guards that are monkeys into monkeys that have wings. And she it ends up, they're in pain. She doesn't like it because they're obviously in pain, they're unhappy, they hurt. This is not something that they want, and so she wants to do it back, and the Oz like, no, this is what I need. They're going to be good spies, he says. And that's what tips her off. She's like, what? And so she tries to reverse it, but she can't. And then that's when she's like, this is not going to work. This isn't going to work. I'm leaving. This is not okay. And Oz is like, you can't go anywhere, and you need to stay here with me. We will rule Oz together, and you can help me get control. It's basically all about control. And as she is conflicted in what to do, because Glinda's like, just do what they say, it'll be okay, we gotta just do everything that they say and go with it, just go with it, it'll be fine. And she's like, no, we're not doing that. This is not okay. This is dangerous, and this is evil, and they're lying to people. And of course Glinda is more of the avoid conflict and just pick your battle situation. And I totally understand Glinda in that situation. I am someone that I will go out of my way to avoid a confrontation, just because I cannot handle them very well. It's very triggering for me, so I totally get that. But she's more picking sides because she knows, like, well, this side's like the better side to be on right now. Like, this is safer. So it's kind of like, they say, like, be on the right side of history, but it's like, the right side of history is necessarily like, pick the right side, not the side that's like more powerful just because you're afraid of them. That was the whole situation. And so Elphaba's like, no, this isn't happening. I'm leaving with this book. It is mine. And that's it. So she takes off after like 15 songs. It was worth it. And she has the book with her. And while she's leaving, the dean of the school makes a Aussian-wide, like worldwide announcement that says there is a witch, a wicked witch with green skin, which is a whole other thing. Like, it's a big deal that she's green. And spoiler alert, this is like a big deal. I know this is a big deal in the Broadway. It's like a big reveal in the Broadway, and it's a big reveal in the book. I already knew. So spoiler if you don't want to know this, the wizard is actually Elphaba's father. So in the beginning, it shows that Elphaba's mom is cheating on her dad, and she gets pregnant with Oz, the wizard's child. It doesn't show him, so it's like going to be a reveal in next part 2. But it is kind of obvious the way, like, his mannerisms and the way, like, because you only see him like shadows, but to me it was obvious. And she was like drinking like this green elixir. That's what turns her green. Blah 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 blah. But anyway, so, and Oz doesn't know that he's the dad. I know I keep saying the wizard, calling the wizard Oz, you know what I mean. He doesn't know he's the dad. But she is being accused of being this horrible, dangerous person who is a danger to them and their society. And she has green skin, and she's wicked. And I sat there and I went, wow. She is wicked because someone else said she is. That's the only reason why she is considered the villain and everyone's scared of her, is because someone big in the higher up said, you should be afraid of her. She's not good. Now, of course, we have part 2 still, and we're going to have a lot going on in part 2 as far as there's going to be some more betrayals. There's going to be a lot more hurt. She was manipulated and used, and it was actually brought to her pretty quick that was what happened, as far as like using her for the magic in the spell book. She thought that she was appreciated and special, and someone appreciated her for herself, and they were just using her because they needed someone to read the spell book. So that kind of hit home for me. It's just the idea that it's like, just because one person that's well known says you're a bad person doesn't mean you actually are. And this has actually led to why she is considered who she is. And I do think, like, in part 2, it's going to open up, there's more and more happens that she just has enough, and she's like, no. And she will start embracing that darker side. But it's good to see where she started from and how humanity turned her into what she is. And that's why I've always enjoyed like a villain story, to see where they come and where they started, because someone did something to them. Like, Maleficent was not evil until she was ripped of her wings by a man that she loved and trusted. It's kind of like that. An example for me in like high school is there was a girl that absolutely hated my guts. Hated me. To this day, I think she hates me. I know what started it, and it was something that was really silly, and it's not the point of the video, so I'm not going to get into it. Maybe one day I will, because it is like a mental health journey for me. But she was well known, and she had friends with more popular people in my school, and so word got around that I was a certain way that I wasn't, and even lost some friends over that because they believed her. And to this day, like, I'm still hurt by a friend of mine. She's not my friend anymore. She doesn't want to talk to me because she believes what the other girl said, and she told me to my face that she believes her. And it's been it'll be 15 years this coming year that I've been out of high school, and I still think about her every day. my ex-best friend. I think about her every day. And I can understand where Elphaba goes with that, because Glinda's going to have to choose a side, and Glinda's going to choose the side of Oz. And that's horrible. So I think that's why I think that this movie's good, because I'm connected to it so much. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get emotional, but because someone says this is what it is, they believe them. And so now that's who she is. It doesn't matter. Like, the people in school, they learned to like her, and they were like, oh, you're so cool now that, like, we accept you and things like that. But as soon as that announcement comes, they're like, we hate you. You're horrible. And now you're a criminal, and we don't want to talk to you or be anything with you. It was so worth the watch. I want to go see it again. I almost cried at that point because I understood. I completely understood. I didn't understand the words to Wicked before I saw it. Like, the song Wicked. I didn't quite understand it until I was listening to it on the screen and I saw how Glinda was acting, and she's like, yeah, it's like, goodness knows the wicked die alone, yeah, it's a bummer. And you can just see that inside that she's conflicted with her feelings, and it hit me. And of course I knew, like, this was gonna be like, well, this is why she is the way she is, but I realized that who's actually wicked here? She's not the wicked one. The wizard is wicked. The dean is wicked. The people who are controlling how this world's going to change and taking over, like, the ability for the animals to be part of this world and, like, talk and things like that and have jobs. They're taking that away because they want to be superior, and Elphaba is pretty much the only one who is not wicked in this movie. She's accused of being the Wicked Witch, but she's the only one that isn't. So it's almost like the biggest debate is, who's actually wicked here? Who is the one that made the bad decisions? And it stuck with me, and I only watched it like 24 hours ago, but it hit hard. And I plan on seeing it again. I will probably see it a couple times. It was worth it. It is like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it is perfect. It's beautiful. The set is hand-built. It is beautiful. The music is beautiful. The combination of the two actresses together is perfect. I'm looking forward to part 2. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it. Are you going to see it? I desperately need a half green and half pink hoodie, or like a sweater. Like, Target's claiming they have all these things, but it's like, so far I've only seen like a green sweater with like a pink W, which, great, I like that. But I need like a half and half. Like the Unis Honest hoodies, if you know what Unis Honest is, they have a black and white hoodie that's half and half. I've worn it in a video, I think. I need that, but pink and green, because I'm clearly going to be on the Wicked Witch's side, but I need something like that. Or I need like a Loungefly bag that has half and half. I look at the Loungefly bags, but they don't have what I want. Just like I have a specific bag I want for Bluey for Loungefly. Can't find it yet. No one has made it yet, but I have this perfect idea. So Loungefly, reach out to me. Hashtag not an ad, but could be. I will promote the crap out of these bags if you let me design things. I will be your best friend because I have some ideas that would be perfect. What can I say? I'm perfect. I'm nowhere near it. But something that's coming up soon in theaters is Mufasa. Once again, I've said, like, I am a fan of villain origin stories, and of course Mufasa is not a villain, but Scar is in it, and he's not known as Scar in the movie, but he's eventually turns into Scar. I hope they take advantage of that, and I hope that they show a lot more of Scar, of why he has bitterness towards his brother. He's not really his brother, and that's canon. So I hope they take advantage of that. That is next month, so I'll definitely be talking about that. I am working on scam videos. I know I keep saying this. Guys, I was getting burnt out again. And I was thinking yesterday, because I was talking to scammers and I was already getting burned out. And I was pretending to be Edna, and it was a whole thing. And I thought, why do I do this? This is just so stressful, and it was bringing me down emotionally. I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do it. And then I thought again about the movie Beekeeper, and that's why I call you guys beekeepers, because we are trying to keep people safe and bring awareness, and I need to get back on it. So I am talking to new scammers. I am trying to get motivated again to keep going, and I just need your guys' help, encouragement to do this, because it can get to be a bit much, especially when you know it's a lie the entire time and they're telling you all the things that you want to hear from somebody. So I'm working on it. But I'll see you guys later. And remember to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And be as wicked as you want to be. But be nice in the same way. Bye!